much. Let's welcome these attendees to this gala. No gala for genocide!
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 No genocide in our name!
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 Ceasefire now!
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 Shame on you!
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 As you heard, my name is Raphael. I join with you today as part of IJAN, the International Jewish Anti-Zionist Network. Like all of you, we are in a state of deep grief and rage. We are sickened by Israel's indiscriminate slaughter of Palestinians in Gaza, and we condemn the flagrant disregard for Palestinian life unequivocally. We join in worldwide calls for an immediate end to Israeli air and ground attacks and an immediate end to U.S. military and economic support of the states. Now I'm here with you today as the grandson of Polish Jewish survivors of the Nazi Holocaust. My grandparents survived the height of Nazi oppression, unlike the majority of their respective families, because they were hidden by a non-Jewish Pole alongside approximately 40 other Jews for about a year. An act of cross-cultural solidarity saved their lives. I work with IJAN in solidarity with my Palestinian sisters and brothers because my family's history taught me in no uncertain terms, never again for anyone. We will not let our family's suffering or our ancestors' memory be misused as justification for Israel to commit parallel acts of brutality against the Palestinian people. I'm also the son of both a former member of the IDF during the Six-Day War of 1967 and a former Haganah leader. As my brother said, for those who may not know, the Haganah was one of several paramilitaries that eventually became the IDF. In fact, for a couple years in my adolescence, my family actually had a Friends of the IDF calendar pinned to our kitchen wall. I tell you all that to say, even those of us raised in pro-Israel households, with a steady dose of Zionist mythology and prejudice against Palestinians, have the capacity and the responsibility to unlearn those values and support the Palestinians' right to live. Their right to live. We must say loudly, clearly, we will not support Israel's desecration of Palestinian life, and we will not support the widespread dehumanization of Palestinians that has enabled Israel to enact state violence with impunity for decades. And we are certainly not the first generation of Jews to say as much. There's in fact a long, powerful, and too often overlooked history of Jews resisting Zionism. I'd like to share with you the words of a couple Jewish survivors of the Nazi genocide to illustrate that point. Dr. Marika Sherwood, who survived the Budapest ghetto, states, "Sometime after 1956, I heard a news item about Israelis herding Palestinians into settlement camps. I just couldn't believe this. Weren't the Israelis also Jews? Hadn't we? They just survived the greatest pogrom of our history.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Weren't concentration camps, often euphemistically called settlement camps by the Nazis, the main feature of this pogrom? How could Jews in any measure do unto others what had been done to them? How could these Israeli Jews oppress and imprison other people? I have to say to the Israeli government, which claims to speak in the name of all Jews, that it is not speaking in my name. I will not remain silent in the face of the attempted annihilation of the Palestinians. I will not allow the confounding of the terms anti-Zionist and anti-Semitic to go unchallenged, unquote. Neither will I, Jan, and neither will we let the state of Israel or its criminal leaders speak for us as Jews. Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
No gala for genocide! No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
Netanyahu once said regarding Palestinians, quote, beat them up. Not once, but repeatedly. Beat them up so it hurts so badly until it's unbearable, unquote. What we have seen and continue to see is beyond unbearable. Coupled with Israel's 75-year history of violent colonization, ongoing apartheid and ethnic cleansing policies, forced displacement, military occupation and siege with no right to return. This latest assault on Gaza amounts to genocide, and we call on Jews of conscience to stand against Netanyahu's goal of a final solution for Palestinians. Never again for anyone! Never again for anyone! Never again for anyone! After the 2006 siege on Gaza, another then elder who since passed, Auschwitz survivor Hajo Meir, forewarned us of this.
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
No gala for genocide! No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
In the words of Hajo Meir, quote, what is happening in Gaza is a slow-motion genocide. At first the Nazis put us in ghettos, then they moved us to work camps and concentration camps. The final solution came later in their efforts. It is painful to witness the parallels I observe between my own experience in Germany and those suffered by Palestinians today. The various forms of collective punishment visited upon the Palestinian people, coerced ghettoization behind a so-called security wall, the bulldozing of homes and destruction of fields, the bombing of schools, mosques, and movement buildings, government buildings, an economic blockade that deprives people of water, food, medicine, education, and the basic necessities for dignified survival. Force me to recall the deprivations and humiliations that I experienced in my youth. This century-long process of oppression means unimaginable suffering for Palestinians, unquote. Again, this was in 2006. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame
against genocide, whether that which killed many of our families or that which we're witnessing today. We stand on the history of Jewish participation in struggles for our collective liberation. And we stand with the right of Palestinians to collective self-defense and self-determination. The masses are against Israel's relentless attacks on Gaza. Internationally, hundreds of thousands are showing up and protesting. They are calling out the US, the UK, and the EU, who back Israel with their weapons, propaganda, and censorship. But we are the majority. We are the majority. And we say, no genocide in our name! No genocide in our name!
No genocide in our name!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala for genocide!
No gala